Haiste, a UK firm of consulting engineers that was founded in 1920 and was in business for more than 70 years. Hello, and thanks for clicking on to watch this video, the fourth in the series that I'm making, to put something on the digital record about the consulting engineering firm Haiste. This is about Silcock and Simpson and Arnold, Brooksbank and Son, two small consulting practices absorbed by Haiste in 1953 and 1971 respectively. Both have their origins in the 19th century, well before John H. Haiste and Partners was established in 1920. When you dig around a bit, you find some quite interesting history there. So I make this separate standalone video rather than just being a footnote in the previous video about Haiste's middle years. So let's start with Silcock and Simpson. Born in Norfolk in 1862, Edward Silcock started his career in Leeds as an articled pupil to the city engineer, working mainly on the expanding city's water supply works. He progressed through the ranks and became chief assistant engineer there. In 1887, at only 25 years of age, he was appointed as the Borough engineer of Lynn, responsible for water supply and sewerage works in the town, as well as other municipal works. In 1898 he set up his own consulting practice back in Leeds, but retained his connection with Lynn as engineer to the Harbour Board. During the First World War he designed the water supply and sewerage system for a large new military camp at Ripon in North Yorkshire. It went on to become a base for the Royal Engineers. Silcock took on a trainee, Christopher Simpson, who later became his partner, and thus the Silcock and Simpson name was established. In terms of a legacy, the most notable must surely be the Water Tower No. 2 at Goole in Yorkshire. It has a capacity of 3,400 cubic metres and was completed in 1927. It's a listed building, and just short of 100 years on it's still in service. The pair of towers are known locally as Salt and Pepper, but the town's residents are divided as to which is which. This extract from a Pathy news item is well worth a watch. Edward Silcock retired in 1939 and Christopher Simpson died in the same year. ECM Reid, known as Jock on account of his Scottish origins, then took over, and when the firm was absorbed into Haiste in 1953, Jock Reid became a partner in Haiste for a short time. Arnold, Brooksbank and Son can trace its origins back even further. Born in Otley near Leeds in 1821, John McLansborough started his civil engineering career on the Leeds Northern Railway. He then set up his own practice, specialising in public health engineering works. After a visit to Haworth to visit the memorial for Charlotte Bronte, he resolved to build a railway line to connect the town to Keighley on the Midland Railway network. He managed to get backers for his scheme, and the line was opened through to Oxenhope in 1867. but finance to complete it to Haworth and ultimately Hebden Bridge failed to materialise. But Lansborough's legacy is the now famous Keighley and Worth Valley Heritage Railway Line. He passed his engineering practice on to a younger relative, H.A. Johnson, who was responsible for numerous small water supply and sewerage schemes in Yorkshire and East Lancashire. 2 water towers designed by Johnson were constructed at Pocklington in East Yorkshire. They were very early UK examples of reinforced concrete towers using the Hennebeek system. The first no longer exists, but this one, built in 1910 at Barmy Moor, has been converted to a superb residence and holiday let. In 1928, Johnson's nephew, Arnold Brooksbank, took over and continued in similar vein with works mainly in North Yorkshire, including those for Northallerton, Richmond and Stokesley. Riva Reservoir on the outskirts of Leeds was enlarged in 1932. At this time, the first reservoir safety legislation was in place, following disasters elsewhere in Yorkshire. In 1952, Arnold Brooksbank's son Hugh joined his father, becoming a partner in 1957. The firm designed numerous sewage treatment works, including those at Knutsford, Newton Aycliffe, Northallerton and Richmond. Several of these were ongoing at the time of Brooksbank's merger with Haiste in 1971. By 1974, the year that changed everything, I knew just 2 former Silcock and Simpson employees still working at Haiste. But Hugh Brooksbank, as a partner in Haiste, went on to play a major role in the firm's success overseas in the 1970s and 1980s. He was definitely not the kind of person you'd ever imagine as a salesman or a rep. Quite the opposite, in fact. But somehow he managed to open doors in Iran, in Iraq, and Libya in the 1970s, and then in Greece in the 1980s, and in 1983 he placed me there, and I'll always be grateful to him for that opportunity. So there's a lot to come in future videos, and I'll hope you'll watch them. If you click on the subscribe button below, then you'll get a notification when one of those pops up. And for now, thanks for watching this video.